What the hell was that? What was that? Because I'm not quite sure what that was. Was that baseball? What a terrible display by the New York Yankees this weekend, getting swept, and have lost I've lost 5 out of 6 games to the Boston Red Sox, who are not that good. But we'll get into it here. Um, Judge struck out 3 times in every game. I guess he's had other stretches in his career where he's done that 3 games in a row, 3 Ks. Only had 1 hit all series. It was a home run, and it did tie the game at the time on Friday. A 1-0 game, he tied it in, I believe, the 8th or 9th. So it was a pretty clutch home run. And it cleared the monster seats and went out onto Lansdowne Street next, which used to happen all the time before the monster seats. And it doesn't happen that often now, but he still cleared them anyway. So it's quite the blast. His 26th home run, 60th RBI, but nothing the rest of the series. And like I said, 9 strikeouts in 3 games, 3 in each game, and only 1 hit all series. And it's like if Judge doesn't hit, this team can't function. This team can't function. So they lose 2-1 on Friday. 4 hits, and other than Volpe with 2 hits, nobody had more than that. Nobody had more than 1 hit. But this is not on the pitching. This whole series is not on the pitching, in my opinion. It's the hitting. Yarbrough, 4 2/3. You like him to go a little longer, but 4 2/3, 1 run. Can't complain about that. You're in the game. It's 1-0. He had 4 hits and 3 walks, which means he had some traffic on the bases, so they were laboring 4 2/3 innings. That's why he came out early. He fought through it, only gave up 1 run, but he had a lot to fight through. Loizaga, Ian Hamilton, Fernando Cruz all come on for an inning and a third. Each one of them pitched an inning and a third. No runs given up between the 3. Other than Cruz walking a couple guys, no base runners, and a few strikeouts here and there. Yarbrough got his ERA under 4, 3.96. Loizaga is at 3.65. Hamilton, he had that tough stretch, 4.76, so he's got a lot to work on there for the ERA. And Cruz is at 3.21, respectable. And he's been pretty good this year. Now, Tim Hill gave up the unearned run because the ghost runner in the 10th inning. So he gave up 1 hit, 1 run, but not earned. Had 1 walk and 1 K. His ERA's at 2.67. He took the loss, obviously. But, let's be serious. 2.67 in the way he's been pitching this year, we're not going to complain about Tim Hill. I will mention Dominguez did have another stolen base, which is good to see. Volpe attempted to steal and got caught stealing. What are you going to do? But 2-1. Just rough. 4 miserable hits. So we're going to Saturday. A 4-3 loss. Yankees made it interesting late because it was 4-0, and they scored 2 in the 7th and 1 in the 9th, and had guys on when the game ended, or a guy on when the game ended. Had a chance to maybe tie it up, but they didn't. They did not. Let's see here. No stolen bases, no home runs. Dominguez had 2 hits, and he was the only one again. And from 4 hits, you go down to 6. You go to 6 hits. 6 hits. You left 5 guys on base. Dominguez got caught stealing. He didn't get a stolen base, and he was picked off. The picked off was ridiculous because he got picked off a second. On the catcher throwing it back to the pitcher, the catcher airmails it on purpose, throwing to second base. And Dominguez must have thought he was throwing back to the pitcher and was walking back to second base, not paying attention, and got picked off. Sorry, I'm in the car and somebody was just an idiot. But anyway, Carlos Rodon, not that great, not good. Five innings, 3 runs, four runs, 3 earned. Definitely not good enough. 7 hits and 2 walks in 5 innings. Lot of traffic there. Not a Rodon blow-up game, but definitely not good enough. His ERA is at 3.01. De Los Santos comes on and went 3 innings. How cool is that? He only had to go use one reliever. Granted, he's probably wasn't, 3 innings. He's going to be on the bench for a couple of days, but gives up nothing. No hits, no runs, 1 walk, and 1 K. His ERA is sitting at 1.83. De Los Santos, one of our best relievers we've got out of nowhere, or at least has been so far this year. I don't know if he really is one of the best, or he's just in a hot stretch, whatever the case is. He pitched really well here. 4 runs is a little, you don't always expect to score more than 4, but it's not like it's 8-0. You fought your way to score 3, but, when your top 1, 2, and 3 hitters go combined 0 for 12, that doesn't help. All the hits were from the bottom of the lineup, the mid to the bottom of the lineup. And last but not least, Sunday's loss 2-0. The Yankees take it on the chin in a game that I thought Max Fried was going to be able to pitch. And, pitch well and win. We were going to win the game. He did pitch well. He went 7 innings, gave up 2 runs, 6 hits and 2 walks. That's a little bit of traffic, not too much. You can deal with that. That's pretty good. Not a bad whip there. 9 strikeouts in 7 innings. His ERA on the season is at 1.89. He pitched well. He took the loss though because he did give up the 2 runs, and the Yankees didn't score at all. Leiter Jr. 1 inning, no runs, 3.81 ERA. You know how I feel about him. He still has to earn my trust. Rice was caught stealing in this game. Rice was picked off in this game. I don't know if it's the same one. I'm not sure what they classify picked off and caught stealing as. If you're picked off and then you try to run to second, is that a picked off and caught stealing? Rather than if you get picked off and you dive back to first and you get tagged out, is that just a picked off? Not sure, or if that was 2 separate plays where he got picked off once and then the next time he also tried to steal and he got thrown out. That I'm not sure, but it is classified as a picked off and a caught stealing. And I watched this game, but I don't remember that, and I wasn't watching attentively because I was already angry about the last 2 games and the way that game was going. It was annoying me. Grisham had 2 hits. That was it. The Yankees had 5 hits. So the Yankees had 4 hits, 6 hits, 5 hits. Guys left on base wasn't really a problem. They just didn't have any traffic on the bases. So what I was saying is the hitting troubles that the Yankees have had when they've gone through long stretches the last few years look just like this. Only it looks like this for 3 weeks, or dare I say a month, where they can't hit. The pitching is not quite good enough, and it's really tough to win a game, almost near impossible to win a series for long stretches. And that's what's happened the last few years. Um, Last year they really limited it. It was not too bad. But the year before that, it was really bad, and the year before that, it was not good. And Judge now is he's down to 378 and 0 for 4 again. He's not he's not hitting he's not hot anymore. If he doesn't hit, they got to be able to still win games, and they still can't. We'll do some batting averages. Grisham is down to 244. Remember when he was over 300? Rice is down to 227. DJ LeMahieu is at 263, surprisingly. Can't complain about him right now compared to some of these other averages. Judge, like I said, is at 378. Bellinger, 252. That's where Bellinger's going to stay, by the way. I don't expect him to be much lower than this, but I also don't expect him to be much higher than this. Jazz, 0 for 3, hitting 212. He was hot before he got hurt, and then back, and then hurt, and then back again. He had that do-si-do for a little bit where he got hurt, missed the game, came back, got hurt again, missed 2 games, and now he's back again. Volpe is at 245. Actually, one of the higher ones, to be honest. Dominguez, 237. Escara, 230. Oswald Peraza, who's getting time at third now, 160. And Goldschmidt's at 311. Nobody's hitting. This is what it looks like when they go bad for long stretches. I just hope that that's not the case now. During the season, at one point or another, you're going to get swept. And it just sucks that it was to Boston. I hate Boston, and it's even worse being swept by them. But good news for 2025. I don't know if it'll be good news beyond 2025. The Red Sox decided to trade Fernando Tatis. The Red Sox decided to trade Rafael Devers, the third baseman, who is their best hitter and one of the best hitters in the league. And they trade him, and they did not get a lot back for a good package. They did free up a ton of money because they're not paying any of his $250 million that are still owed. That's still owed to him for 8 years. I think San Francisco, at the end of those 8 years, will not like that contract at all. But they're going to enjoy it now because he is a prolific hitter. And they got Jordan Hicks back, who I think is hurt, or was hurt, just coming off and not pitching well at all. They got another pretty good starter in terms of minor league pedigree, and that's it. And then 2 other kids. One's like 20 years old, and that's it for Rafael Devers, and also a salary dump for not having to pay even a little bit of his salary. San Francisco's taking on the entire salary. The Giants is where he went. So now they don't have Devers, and they're going to roll with the young kids now. I mean, they're all up. Roman Anthony's up. Matt Myers up. Rafaela's got to be part of that. Duran, you would think, is also still part of that, and Christian Campbell. So that's who they're going to go with. I mean, they still have Story, Wong. I mean, they really don't have much, to be honest. Jaron Duran. Yeah, I'm just looking at their roster, and the pitching has not been that great this year. So I don't know what they're doing. They've won something like six in a row. They just beat the Yankees 5 out of 6 games in the last like 8 9 days, and then they go and get rid of their best hitter. I know he wasn't happy, and I know there was some contention with Bregman coming over and him where he was going to play, and he didn't want to move to second, and then Bregman was going to move to second, and then Bregman didn't. He went to third, and Devers was just DHing. But Devers, where he started, remember, he was like one of the worst hitters in baseball the first like 3 weeks. I mean, he was just miserable. He's up to 272. His numbers are right where they should be. And he has, what? Let's see, 15 homers. 15 homers, 58 RBIs, batting 272. It's about right where Devers should be on a normal Devers year, and that's exactly what it's happened since the rough start 3 weeks at the beginning of the year. So I don't know what this means for the Red Sox. I don't know if it's like technically they're waving the white flag and giving up, or conceding the season, or just basically getting rid of a contentious player who was not happy, and just not having to pay any of his salary. And we'll see what they do at the trade deadline. If they get rid of more people, if they give up where they are, if they add pieces. And let's not forget, there's a big ticket item in the offseason that now they have the money to go get if they want, and that's Kyle Tucker. And I can't imagine anybody not wanting Kyle Tucker on their team. He's one of the best players in baseball. I contend that for real baseball, he's a better baseball player than Juan Soto. You won't get Juan Soto money because Juan Soto came out at 26 years old, so that's why. Uh, Tucker, I think, is around 29 or 30. I don't know for sure. In that range, late 20s or early 30s for sure. Um, I don't think he's much older than 30. You know what? I'll get his actual age in a second. Um, but he also plays a really good outfield. I think he's won a Gold Glove. He hits about the same amount of power as Soto, other than last year. Soto hit 41. That was his career high. But in City Field, I bet you he has some pretty similar power numbers to Tucker this year. And Tucker will steal bases, and Soto doesn't do that. So Soto doesn't field well. Tucker does. Soto doesn't run. Tucker does. Although Soto does, for some reason, have like 6 steals this year already, or 7 steals. He's stealing a little bit more than this year. Um, for the same amount of home runs, about, and pretty much the same batting average. The only thing Soto will do more than Tucker is walk. He'll get on base at a 400 clip minimum every year. That's what he does. Tucker won't be able to do that, but everything else Tucker does better or as good. Soto is a net negative in the outfield. At worst, at best, he's a average outfielder. Tucker is above average for sure. And like I said, he steals bases. Stealing 30 bases is no big deal for Kyle Tucker. So I could see the Red Sox using that money that they had tied up in the Devers and pivoting and going to get Kyle Tucker. And that would stink. That would definitely stink. Almost as much as this weekend. This weekend really stunk. My God, cannot stand it. Ah, let's see if I can really quick get his age. He's 28. Like I said, late 20s, early 30s. Okay, so 28 next year when he becomes a free agent. for next season, he'll be 29. So yeah, right in that prime time age where you can get a good 5 years out of him probably, and then a downside of another 3 or 4 years after that, and he's probably going to be looking for a 9-year contract. I don't know if he'll be looking for a 10-year, if that's reasonable. It's probably not reasonable, but he might be. Someone might give him 10 years and just eat the end of it when he's not worth it anymore. Um, kind of like the Yankees are doing now with Giancarlo Stanton. So that's the weekend. It sucked. I hate losing to the Red Sox, and we got swept by the Red Sox. But like I said, the good news was that they got rid of their best hitter, and also Devers is a Yankees killer. He's an absolute Yankee killer. So go, get out of here. I'll see you in San Francisco once a year. No problem there. Bye-bye. And the Red Sox, again, I don't know what they're doing. We'll see what they do at the trade deadline. And they don't have much left now, especially with Bregman hurt in that lineup to be all that scared of right now. Those kids start developing, though, and they're going to look very good, especially if they go get a big ticket item like Tucker in the offseason for 2026. But for 2025, I don't think they have much of a hope. I will also real quick round this off with the updated standings. Yankees are still in first place. Tampa Bay just 3.5 games back because they swept the Mets over the weekend. So they picked up 3 games this weekend by sweeping the Mets. The Yankees getting swept. Toronto's at 4.5 back. Boston at 6.5 back. Remember they started 9.5 for this weekend. And Baltimore is an afterthought at 12 games back. Detroit still owns the best record in the American League at 46-27. Yankees are at 42-28. That's going to do it. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. Don't forget, they're playing the Angels starting Monday today, and they're going to play them, I believe it's a 4-game series. I should have that as well, which I don't. Stand by. Try to give you as much information as I can, that's all. Let's see. Yes, this is a 4-game series against the Angels. They have no days off this week, playing 7 days. This is the middle of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 days in a row. The Yankees are playing. They're in the middle of it right now. The next day off isn't until June 26th, that Thursday. They're playing every day till then. So these series recaps are going to bleed over into the next day. Like they're playing the Angels Monday night. This is probably going to come out close to that time. Maybe Monday afternoon by the time I get it all set and ready to go. And then, then it's Baltimore after the Angels, then Cincinnati. So 4 games in LA. I hope I don't come back after LA and say they're still not hitting and they're in the middle of that slump that they seem to go through every year. Hopefully that's not the case. The bats have got to wake up. But that's going to do it. Until next time. And again, that next time will be probably Thursday night, Friday afternoon, Friday morning. I will see you later.